Hey, I'm back again. So there sure are a lot of AUs, huh? What if someone ranked their top 10? They'd probably get a hell of a lot of hate. There are so many and so many opinions that persons would get ridiculed if it didn't align with the masses. And I guess it's a good thing I get no views. Anyway, you read the title, you know what this is about. I'm going to rank my top 10 because I was torn between ideas and this is the one you all chose for me. But before we do get into it, I want to clarify something. Most of you probably haven't read my post about the thing, so I'll say it again here. I tend to look for the good in things rather than the bad, and if something's bad, I'll look for the merit, and I'll just completely ignore the drawbacks, which is probably a flaw I should work on. In cases like this, I'll be embracing zaniness and pure stupidity. So yeah, many of the AUs on the list you might not be familiar with, or might not appear on any other person's top 10. So just keep an open mind and give them a chance, because I promise they're good. At least to me. I'll cover them in as much detail as I deem necessary, and some entries will be shorter than others, obviously, because I'll have less to say, but I do recommend giving them a chance, regardless of the consensus on them. I genuinely do love all of the ones that are on here, even the stupider options. I'll leave links to each in the description, details, creators and all that, or where you can find more detail, like the wikis. Before we get into them, I have a few honourable mentions though. Ones that I like, or did used to like, but couldn't in good conscience put on this list, and I'll talk about why in those entries. Oh yeah, please don't harass me in the comments over this is just my personal opinion, and everyone else's are completely valid, and I would love to respectfully hear your thoughts and your personal top 10s or favourites. If 10 is too many, okay, I'll let you go now. GHIJKLMNOP. So this is an entry that either everyone knows or no one knows, which doesn't make any sense. You either know this one or you don't. That's how it works. You know what I mean. This one I'm not entirely sure on the consensus on. From G to P is strange. It's quite a modern fan game, yet it's written and plays like the average 2017 Sans fan game. 20 HP and... I can't call it good, but I still find charm in it. The basic lore is Sans remembers Kara's genocides, but no one believes him, making him a little crazy. But the human doesn't pass his fruit, so he's even more annoyed. Yeah, basically every contemporary fan game stereotype. Despite this, I kind of love it in a way. But I couldn't in good conscience put it in my top 10, so I thought I'd mention it here, and maybe I'll do a video on it at some point. In fact, that's going to go for every AU I talk about. They all deserve way more time than I can give them here. Anyway, this one's kind of weird, but the sprites are cool, and something about the start of Phase 2 goes hard. So yeah, G to P.
Computer.
Go ahead.
Are we near the orphanage?
Yes.
Great. Let's turn those frowns upside down.
It sounds like the Batmobile.
Oh GG Undertale. How does one fumble this hard? I'm gonna go on a rant about this one because I used to love it, but, well... Holy fuck, how did you fumble so hard? If you don't know Delta Traveler Section 3, you get stalked by GG Felsams the whole time, right? So intimidating. He even has a papyrus in on it, willingly or not, clearly not. Then you get to the moment you've been waiting for, the battle with him, at the end of the sector. He tells you, I killed Orphan Susie, and like, based killing orphans. Who are they gonna cry to, their parents? This of course makes Susie pissed, giving more of a motive to fight, and it's so cool. But unfortunately, that's not how it ends. See, everyone was like, huh, so cool. I wonder why Sans is killing orphans. Because it's based, duh. So the Delta Traveler creators updated the game. New ending to the fight, an actual mercy ending that doesn't involve pacifying. Lame. But the worst part, Sans' dialogue pre-fight fucking changes. Instead of gloating at killing Orphan Susie, he's like, shame I had to run away, I didn't want to get caught. It's like, fuck you, do you have any idea how much less intimidating that makes him? He could have kept the old dialogue bluffing and being based, but no, all threats had to be gone in an instant because he's too much of a fucking pussy to own the orphan killing. And that line also plants the seeds of doubt which proved true later. Which it turns out Sans didn't kill the orphan, because he couldn't bring himself to do it. Fuck that. Fraud. And as if it wasn't bad enough, it turns out Sans wanted to kill people because he saw how bad the world was, and he wanted to destroy it. But like, bitch, you're just making it worse. You ain't solving shit. You're making your brother suffer, which, oh, I didn't even mention that. The fraud orphan killer almost killed his own brother because he wanted to kill you. What a fucking joke. What an asshole. He doesn't deserve my golden boy Papyrus, and the goat still helps him. So yeah, they turned GG Fell Sans from the edgy orphan killer to the flaming fraud. Disclaimer, I don't hate GG Fell or the creators of it. Delta Travel. This was meant as a joke, and I don't condone spreading hate or anything of the sort.
Why won't you die?
So, oh wait, no, wrong one. Hang on. Oh no, wait, still, hang on, wrong one. Here we go. Triple breath. No, I'm not joking. If any of these entries are gonna get me hate, then it's this one for sure. I think it's just cool. It doesn't have to work. It doesn't have to be a work of art or original. It's just cool. And this is just cool. So of course this is ULB times 3, and so yeah, the lore is ULB happened, and then UDB happened, and now this is happening. Gaster meets Sans, Sans asks Gaster for even more power, and when they grant it, Sans also does experiments on himself to make himself even stronger, and then he fights you in the Judgment Hall per usual. You think he'd get pissed and fight you earlier, but I guess not. So yeah, that's about it for lore. I think my favourite part's the music. It's just unironically amazing. I love every single song in the OST, which I can't say about every single thing in the world. And probably it's the best OST on this list, frankly. It sticks to 3 phases, and it had the restraint for that, which I really like. Despite being justified in going further if it wanted to, because this is Sans stronger and it's last breath times 3. And I can definitely respect that. So yeah, it's kind of a short entry. I promise I'll get longer from here, because I'll have a lot more to say. Especially about those towards the top of the list. So look forward to those. Also yeah, before you judge me for liking this one so much, go listen to the OST. I'll wait. Okay, I'm bored of waiting now. Let's move on.
It is I, Dust.
So, Dusttale Last Genocide. Good idea, good lore, and a damn good fan game. I think you all know this one. Sans does Dusttale Genocide, finds Gaster, reminds him of his memories, and he fights you. Last Breath Dusttale. I think the fan game is one of my favourites of any. The music's also really good, as are the remixes of it. So yeah, pretty good. Huh? Alright, yeah, the Genocide's End is the real reason that it's up this high. Apply everything I said about Last Genocide, and apply it here.
And multiply it by 6!
The potential of this AU is insane, and we still only have 1 chapter released. So after Last Genocide, you and Kara concoct a plan to escape your fate by activating hard mode. This didn't go as planned, however, and instead of strengthening your connection and determination, it split Frisk and Kara apart, and now Frisk is following a Dusttale in a timeline parallel to Last Genocide. And Sans knows something is off. He lets on multiple times during the Snowden fight, which I also want to add, thank you for making this fight fair. I've been looking for a fair fight for so long, and this one has such good signposting. I was able to do last 2 attacks before the finale, near no hit on my first attempt. Also, before we continue, I want to highlight this part. I love this. The music's peak, the dialogue's peak, it's all peak. And I want to once again highlight, this is just Act 1. We still haven't gotten Act 2 nearly over a year later. Oh yeah, also Act 1 ends with Sans finding Gastador. What luck to get it 2 runs in a row. Neat. So yeah, I think I've made my argument clear. There's so much potential, I just hope it isn't squandered like some AUs.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright.
Now here's one that I doubt many people will know well. I think most will know it thanks to the Bossum game and the funny Shop Sand song, but I don't think many know it. Last 27 hours is peak, the lore is fucking insane and that's why I love it. Also the music's amazing and that goes for all of these to be fair, but yeah, there's a reason Exposed Lies and Qualifier are so famous. So basically, you tell the government that there are monsters under Mount Ebert and they're killing children to escape, and in response, the government takes the level-headed side and starts to fucking nuke the mountain. They're set to launch in 27 hours, hence the name. So Alphys created some radio that latched onto human frequencies, and panic began to spread when they heard about the nuke. Papyrus was getting bullied for being kind, so they went a little crazy and attacked Sans, but Sans killed him, hence Sans having Papyrus's head in this waterfall encounter. It's like budget insanity, except fucking insane because nukes. Sans confronts you in the Judgment Hall, and oh yeah, he also has this thing called a limiter in his head, I guess? Keeps his stats at 1, and in phase 2 it breaks, so Sans kinda completely loses it. Then phase 3 happens, and Sans uses the human souls, and has a cool ring around his sleeve, and he can also time travel.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
So he time travels to before the nuke, and wins. Hooray, Deus Ex Machina. Oh yeah, also the whole Shop Sound thing, that's completely irrelevant. And it's bonus fight, which is the funniest shit to me. It's the only part most people are aware of, and yet it has no relevance to the actual AU. Anyway, yeah, last 27 hours. Not much more to say, but I just find it really funny and I can't help but love it. Maybe it shouldn't be in my top 10, but it's my list, so shut up.
It is I, Dust.
Now this is one that definitely needs more love. Dust Faded Memory. I know, Dust AUs can be ridiculed, but hear me out here. You might not be ready for this, but this one's actually really good. Yeah, probably wouldn't be in my top 10 if it wasn't. So let's talk about it a little bit. So the lore goes, Sans does a Dust genocide run, and of course he began killing super early because it's a Dust. Makes sense. So as he waited in the hall, having killed everyone besides Napstablook and the Amalgamates, because they're unkillable obviously, he realises that the human never fell. So the poor bastard killed everyone for no reason. He'd wait and wait, over time forgetting his brother's name and face, along with many aspects of his past, but still filled with the guilt for the needless sorcery committed. But a whole century later, a different human falls. Sans has been alone for a while, but he never changed out that dusty jacket, ew. Imagine wearing the same clothes for a century straight without washing them. Anyway, he talks to the human, giving them a choice to give up their soul so they both can escape, or just live underground forever alone with Sans.
You're my friend now.
There are different routes, but I can't be asked to explain them all. So there are ones where you kill Sans.
Licky. Psych! Do you really think
Reset everyone back. There are ones where Sans takes your soul, etc. But yeah, by the time we reach the corridor, Sans reveals to you everything. He was the one who killed everyone, and he's gonna kill you now.
You never knew it, Puss. But I was always there.
He still doesn't remember the stuff he forgot, but oh well. So why do I like this one? I think it does Dust well. It covers the more depressive and hopeless side rather than being a silly, insane, racist murderer Sans. Not that those takes are bad, I just think they're silly. But this one actually takes its premise so seriously, and it executes it so well. I can't help but love it. The music's also taken seriously. I like the area themes, because they actually fit the theme of the game, being like hopelessness and quiet. And when someone puts that level of effort into their story, I have to respect it. And I'm sure you do too. So yeah, I'd highly recommend checking this one out for yourself. I actually discovered it while researching trios for the ranking, so there is love for this guy out there. You just have to look in the right place for it. So I tip my imaginary hat to you, sir. This is a good Dust. I doubt many thought it possible.
Well, this stinks.
What is there to say about Disbelief Papyrus that hasn't already been said better by someone else? The only complaint I've ever heard surrounding disbelief is that Papyrus would never stop believing in someone, so it's automatically bad. But like, have those people even seen the animation? Papyrus literally admits at the end of Phase 3 that he faked his disbelief all along, because in his grief it's what he thought his brother wanted. Papyrus never stopped believing in you, he just forced himself to fight you and tried to convince himself that he could do what he thought Sans would want. And I think that's in character. In the lore, Sans stopped Papyrus from fighting you in Snowdin and took his place, but of course Papyrus would feel awful, and he might even blame himself for Sans' death, for letting him fight you instead. Then he'd go on to be the one to watch his friends die. He'd begin to see the severity of your actions despite this. Phase 4 is proof that he's still himself. He didn't stop believing in you, he just suppressed it to fight you as he thought that's what Sans would want. Anyway, that's enough about that point. I'm just saying the same thing over and over. Let's talk about the fight itself, yeah? So Papyrus confronts you in Sans' place in the last corridor, still grieving all his friends, and of course you will be. You will be too if someone went around killing everyone you ever loved. So he says a variation of his usual genocide dialogue, but tweaked for the new situation. Papyrus also isn't naive, which I love. The naivety is a misinterpretation that really annoys me, despite how funny some of the comics from it were. Anyway, Papyrus actually acknowledges that you killed his friends and brother. Clearly he's struggling, but staying strong to avenge them. The battle begins, Papyrus eventually loses hope in fighting you, and you attack. He gets angry. He attacks again in a phase with a theme that is not Megalo Strike Back. Yes, they are similar, but this song is literally titled Phase 2. It is different from Megalo Strike Back. Listen to them both. Then Papyrus gives up, but also not really. Then he becomes determined. He summons projections of Sans and Undyne who fight alongside him, until Sans slips up and lets in on the fact that they aren't actually real, which breaks Papyrus out of his delusion and his focus, and then they leave. Papyrus then admits that he still believes in you, and my golden boy fights you, but not to kill you, to make you give up, because he's done being someone else and he decides to be himself. Then there's Phase 5 where he's angry again, or accepting his role to kill you. Then Phase 6 where Gaster possesses him. Then Phase 7 where he's dying. Then Phase 8 where he's determined again. Then Phase 9 where Wait, what? Oh, got a little carried away. There are 4 phases, and they work, wrapping it up nicely. Now this alone is good, but it's the implications and thought that put it in my top 10. I mentioned it earlier, Papyrus is grieving, and the fight goes through his stages of grief. In phase 1 he's in denial, he doesn't want to believe you could do this, hence the chance he gives you at the end. Phase 2 he's angry, self-explanatory. Bargaining's hard to justify, but it usually surrounds the idea of wishing that you could bring the person or thing back. Making deals with higher powers or remembering old times. He laments about how Sans was always so smart and wishes he was there. Tick. He brings back Sans and Undyne's hallucinations. Tick. Now if only there was some higher power that made it possible. Oh well. Guess the analogy fell apart. Never mind. Then after phase 3 he's depressed, deep longing, and looking at the faithful sprite, yeah, I can see that. Of course you can kill him, but you kill him before he reaches stage 5 of acceptance. Unless you include painful retribution, the fan in phase 5, which seems to be Papyrus accepting his role of judge for your sins. The thought and maturity that goes into the structure, plus the ability to balance it with the elements, so it still feels like an actual Undertale fight. Like when I was a kiddo, I thought it was an actual route in the game, or at the very least a fan-made battle, as I'm sure many others did. Not an animation. It's got a quality to it in every aspect. Every scene, every line, every beat of the songs, you know. I can't not love every second of it, and that's how it got into my top 10.
No! You killed them all! I'm gonna take my revenge! I'm taking my revenge!
On the contrary to disbelief, what if Papyrus went insane and killed people? I genuinely think disbelief is better, and this is going to be a hard sell. I've met very few people who like disbelief. It's not justified. Of course the glaring argument against it is that Papyrus would never kill people, but I'm going to present a scenario to you and see if you can follow me here. Imagine you and your brother, or any family member for that matter. You've cared for each other as long as you can remember. You love each other more than anything, but one day you find them and they attack you. They're trying to kill you, clearly broken, clearly struggling, but despite your best efforts to convince them otherwise, they're firm in their belief that this is the only way. They ramble to you about something about another person you haven't met, someone who they claim did awful things, something they can't let happen again, something about yourself being killed by this person, or worse. You may pass it off as ramblings, but they're clearly acting so unlike themselves, you have to wonder where this came from. In self-defense and panic you kill them, the person you loved more than anything, who supported you through everything, the only person who truly understood you, and in their moment of need, when you could have given back, you killed them. You didn't mean to, it was an accident, but it's your fault. In your moment of shock you're approached by someone who seems familiar yet distant. They match the description of the person your loved one told you about. You aren't thinking straight, you might lash out, you might blame them, finding some way, any way to cope with your actions. But as time goes on, you begin to notice something. Their expression, their movements. It's like they know what you're doing and predict your every move, every word. You think back, they warned you of this, someone who killed you many times in the past. Maybe they were right. You run away, realizing that fighting is futile, and you need time to think, processing this revelation. Maybe you hallucinate them, just another way to cope with what you've done, and how to make it up to them. You ruin their plan, you doomed the world to this thing's cycle again. Maybe, just maybe, you can fix it. You can continue what they started. They already started for you. It'd be a waste not to. And if this thing can reset time, why couldn't you if you get strong enough? No one will remember what you did to achieve it. Everything will be better with you in control. So your mind is made up. You will continue what they started, breaking every one of your morals, but it's okay, it's just for one loop. And after this it'll never happen to anyone again. It's a means to an end. A bad thing for a good outcome. Now swap them out for Sans and Papyrus. Yeah, it's not one-to-one with the original, but it's the best way I can make my point. Disbelief works. The idea of someone as pure as my golden boy falling this low is a concept with so much potential that I don't think any take has fully realised. The fact that 99% of the good takes get cancelled probably doesn't help, but yeah, it's really good. Like, really, really good. And I haven't even got into how amazing the design is. I'm going to go for most general takes here, because most use this design, but there are variants that are also amazing. So Papyrus ditches his silly battle body in favour of a heavy trench coat, which adds to his imposing frame. He's tall, and wearing the heavy coat hides his skeletal structure that his battle body showed, which makes him look so much more menacing and intimidating, especially as a silhouette, or in shadows. Anyway, one more thing to cover. This is more the case in the main comic, but it also appears elsewhere too. Papyrus's intelligence and strength really shine throughout what we see. He lays many traps, or he's able to predict the human's actions, and the biggest factor of all, Sans' plan was to kill to get as strong as he could to defeat the human. Papyrus's plan is similar, however, it addresses the possibility that he can't defeat the human even at his peak strength, so he adds a factor to the plan, and that being taking opportunities to convince the human to reset like his old self. Except he does so by drowning and torturing them.
So, human, an idea came to me. I noticed you don't really fear death. If death doesn't scare you anymore, I have to find something to convince you to reset from the beginning. And I found it. It's making you suffer before you die. In that way, you will fear death again. Why not begin by drowning? It's painful, right? Feeling water running into your lungs. Oh no, you can't reload now. Not before your painful death. Have you noticed I can see your menu? I can almost touch it. So, how do you find my idea? Did I manage to convince you to reset from the beginning? Or shall we continue the game?
Not so much like his old self, but it's a clever plan, making the human fear death to force them to go back on their own accord. Also ensuring that the human doesn't do this path again if the reset doesn't work or he loses. Because if the human fears death, they won't do a genocide again because they might die again. But that's all I wanted to cover for now. I could make a whole video on Dustbelief, defending it, but as I said, that goes for everything on the list, so, you know, make what you want of it. Anyway, stop the Dustbelief hate. It's good, actually. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
It is I, Dust.
Alright, this one might sound stupid, but I can explain. 6 dust. Yes. Dust. It's actually pretty peak. Even those I've spoken to who don't like it have admitted to me that for what it does it well. 99% of these ones on the list have been hard to justify, but I've done well enough thus far, I hope. If you're here in the video, then clearly you're at least interested in hearing my opinion on the stuff, so let's keep going, yeah? So this one does have a ton of lore, so parts may get confusing from my explanation. So go read the wiki, which I'll link in the description for more info. Also, the creators of this will be down there, as I said, so go and check out their stuff too. So let's talk about this list a little, and hopefully you can at least follow along. So the lore for this is split between a Dusttale take and the Six Dust Saga itself. So, at the start, Flowey tells Sans about the genocides and teams up with him to do the usual Dusttale mission, you know, killing everyone. Sans and Flowey failed due to incompetence, however, and the next timeline was a similar story, but they did work better as a team that time. But they still failed, because obviously it was futile. In the third timeline, which is where the Dust part actually, the Six Dust part actually begins, Flowey built up the courage to tell Sans about the human souls, so Sans would kill them, would kill monsters, and then he'd go to the barrier, collect the human souls, and use them, and gain enough LV to actually defeat you by killing on the surface. So the route begins as normal. Sans and Flowey work together, Sans absorbs the souls. He also injects his own soul with determination in the lab as a substitute for the 7th soul, but due to monsters' inability to handle the DT, Sans had to kill even more monsters, to help him get strong enough to sustain his form without melting, obviously. So Sans, once stable, would leave to the surface with Flowey, breaking the barrier and creating a new, stronger one to prevent the human from escaping the underground, while he goes on his massacre to get even stronger. Sans got stronger and stronger and stronger, learning more and more about the world. He would kill Flowey, eventually blaming him for the massacre and his growing obsession and madness. Eventually he found AUs, and he began killing them all, eventually being able to erase them near instantly.
Broken hero, the devastated eldritch god, the villain of the multiverse. What am I anymore? When wherever you perhaps a question too late to answer. But one wish remains true. The wish to erase my
So after erasing almost everything, he returned to his original universe, and finally killed the human, who put up a good fight, bless him. Look at him. But one goal still remained. Sans wanted to kill Error 404. Having erased everything else he was able to do. But as soon as he was finally content having killed 404, he saw something. He was becoming 404. They didn't know it, but this was the cycle of the multiverse. As Sans would rise up and erase everything as the Six Dust, and then after 404 died, they would become the new 404 and the cycle would repeat again. I love this idea. He became the very thing he swore to destroy. He was forced to watch the cycle of the multiverse repeat again. Currently, the story is at a point where the newest Six Dust was able to learn of this clause and had enslaved one of the smarter Sanses to search for a way out of it. Which, while he created his own murder time trio to hunt souls for him to absorb, while we're here, let's rank it, let's add it to the list, why not? It's an AU of Murder Time Trio, but I think the concept's unique enough to class as its own thing, so. The name is just 6 Dust Murder Time Trio. Doesn't need to be much more, but originality would be nice, so 3. Plausibility makes sense, considering the lore I've just put forward. It makes 6 Dust basically makes a cult surrounding him, and the 3, Horror, Insanity, and Killer, all worship him and claim souls for him to reap. 1.25 times. The music's good, not great, but it's consistent with the style of the other 6 Dust themes, so 1.5 times. There's only one phase, which makes sense, because 6 doesn't want to get over quickly, so full 5 points. Lore I already explained, 5 points. Fame I'm unsure. Video has 30k views, and I said I'd be more lenient, so I'll give it 1.25 times for Fame. There are 3 members of the trio, Horror, Killer, and Insanity. 6 Dust doesn't fight at all. Instead, he just lingers, and it's his trio, he controls them, they worship him. So I think I'll let it off with a warning. So yeah, adding up to the list, it gets 19.53125, which puts it barely above Disbelief Trio, not Disbelief Trio. Disbelief Trio. And yeah, good spot. Wait, this isn't a trio video, fuck. I like to say you a lot, obviously. There's so much lore, and can you blame a guy for liking stupidly OP Sans AU number 9,350,284? Nah, but seriously, the lore is well fleshed out, and the context added on to the factors serve to make it even better. This section's been way too long though, and I'll move on, but damn it, check this AU out.
Flawless victory.
Okay, this one I feel like most people know, but not many people know. Like last 27 hours. Though you can quite easily predict what this one's about. Dusttail Engol Flawless Genocide. I'm just going to call it Flawless Genocide though, because it's easier. So this AU, as you can predict, Sans does a perfect genocide run. He kills everyone, takes every item, and you're left with nothing.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
And you fight him in Judgment Hall. I just want to highlight this. He did it. He killed everyone. He accomplished his goal. He did everything right. He even got the ability to reset, but he chooses not to because the goat wants to fight you honorably in a final battle. Actually, forget I said goat. He's not my goat. He's my second goat. But he's still a goat. My first goat I'll talk about later. The second goat wants to fight you honorably in a final battle. So I discovered the actual story of this guy because of a different project I'm working on. I'll do details soon. I'm in a writing block with it right now. But yeah. So yeah. He confronts you in the Judgment Hall, holding his sack. His sack in his bag of items behind him. He uses them to heal himself if you do too much damage to him. So at the end of the phase you destroy his sack. You destroy the bag of items, and he's pissed. Fighting you with the locket and the real knife, the only items he has left. After that phase he tries to reset, but it fails, and Sans crashes out, obviously valid. He attacks you borderline, going insane at this point, and he calls the human souls, but due to melting from his determination, only 3 of them come, and the others are trapped by some goo, goo caused by melting. He uses them to form a shield. His Phase 3 song's the best song in the AU, I want to say that now. The others are kind of just remixes of Red Megalovania, but this one actually feels more original. So eventually the goo takes the form of Papyrus, having absorbed the other 3 souls, and grabs Sans and the other souls, dragging them to the barrier.
No! I don't want to go! No! 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 I don't want to go!
Sans panics, but eventually accepts his fate, hoping Papyrus can end the genocides. And they use the 6 souls, plus your own, by throwing you at the barrier to break it. Then Papyrus begins his own genocide of a human village. And look at this thing. It's so tall. Yeah, I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. You're pretty fucked. Anyway, yeah. You might ask why it became end goal Flawless Genocide. This is, as far as I can tell, literally just because it got confused with Last Genocide. Even though it clearly is the superior version. But yeah. I just love this one. It's so cool, it's fun, it works for what it is. And that's all that's all it has to do. Maybe some of the early ones are objectively better, but I prefer this one, so fuck you. Sans did it. He killed everyone. He did what Dusttail sets out to do. He won. Anyway, moving on.
That was a close one, Henry. But I'm not going to pull you up. See, without you, I become the leader of the Tuppet clan again. I just wanted to look you in the eyes as I took it all back. Goodbye.
Ooh, Betrayer! The goat! The goat! I am obsessed with Betrayer. All incarnations, all AUs, all of it. The very idea of Betrayer fills me with so much joy. You do a soulless pacifist run and on the surface begin committing another genocide. But Betrayer, the goat, confronts you. This man, he doesn't need a Gaster or LV to rock your shit. He just does it because he's Betrayer. This guy is so amazing. The music, the concept, everything. The one thing that infuriates me is no one could capture the goatness of this man. All Betrayer takes, base or stacks or base, not stacks or crossovers. Everyone just ends up turning it into a Last Breath clone, even though this is the original and superior version. I like the idea of him having the bones in Phase 3, like he does in Ending Time Octet and, what's it, Chaotic Time Trio. But most of the time it just turns into, Phase 1 he's not a slacker anymore, Phase 2 he's barely alive but he's still fighting, and in Phase 3 he has otherworldly powers. Betrayer deserves to be done justice, and if no one else will, then I will. Anyway, yeah, this was a short section, not much to say, just Betrayer is my goat. If you disagree, I will fight you. I don't need to justify his placement to you. He justifies himself. Look at this.
Don't worry, I'm a doctor of psychology. So how does that make you feel?
Okay, we're at the end of the list. This entry is going to take a while. Genuinely, I think this might be my favourite piece of media ever. No, not just my favourite Undertale AU, but my favourite thing in general. If you don't know Dr. Megalo, I can't do it justice with words. This did a very rare thing. It made me cry. I literally cried at parts of this. Yes, parts. This didn't just make me cry, which is rare enough. Even the true pacifist ending of Undertale couldn't do that. This made me cry multiple times. I was going to be silly and put Betrayer above this since I worship that guy more, but I genuinely couldn't bring myself to. I wanted to make it clear just how much I genuinely love this AU. I had to put the sillies aside just so I could talk about this for a few minutes seriously. I will definitely be making a video on this in future. I can't express in what little time I have my full feelings on it. People have tried to argue to me that this is bad, but thankfully most people seem to agree with me that this is something special. So let's just do a few examples of as to why. Well, one example. I didn't have time to write more because this video is long enough. As to what genuinely makes this my favourite creation, and that's how I'm going to refer to it. Not just my favourite AU, but favourite creation. I mentioned how this made me cry multiple times, so let's cover the first instance. Maybe I'll cover the second when I make the full video on this at some point. The out of character comic. This mostly just goes into the beginning of the story because goddamn this is a complicated AU. So let's take this specific scene. If you don't know, this is basically a Dusttale take, but it makes Alphys the killer rather than Sans. So basically in this scene, Sans has just found out Alphys' plan, and he's sat at home with the memory head. Yeah, the amalgamates are a big part of this one. At least memory head is, the others aren't really important, but anyway, doesn't matter. I'll talk more about it in its own video at some point. But anyway, they're practically begging Sans for help, and he's ignoring them, trying to avoid the responsibility, and eventually he snaps. I'm going to play a clip from the comic dub. It gets the emotions across really well, and I think it can truly demonstrate how I feel.
Icy has become a zombie! Get the MTT license flamethrower!
Can you believe Pap needed 4 bedtime stories just to avoid nightmares from this? Really brave of him declining a 5th. Oh hey, they got through Undyne. You'd think they could do it in one go now. Oh well. Wait, did they reset every time they got hit? Well, that means we still got an hour before the world ends. You can pick a movie this time. Yeah, I can search for it, I guess. I'ma refill my drink first. Can't wait! Whoops. I haven't drunk that much since college. Good thing I got no liver. So then, MH buddy, found what you were looking for? It better be good. Actually, I just realized I haven't taken my pet rock on a walk yet. Wanna come along, pal? What the fuck do you expect me to do? Go to the castle? Fight a kid who's learned every stupid pattern I could throw at them? Or did you expect me to beat Alphys' ass, huh? Cause guess what? It wouldn't change a damn thing. Whether I confront Alphys' bullshit or throw hands with a grade schooler, I can't do shit while they can undo everything. Even if somehow I retain my memories, which fuck that, by the way, what difference is it gonna make? Even I have my limit on the amount of ass pulls I can do. If Alphys somehow does surpass the kid, great! She'll either completely destroy the world or just restart the exact same cycle. Defeat Alphys? Nice, kids got their fucking playground back. Both? Oh yeah, let's get the flower involved as well, why don't we? Do I, kill monsters myself? Like that would do me any good? If the next me wants to take a crack at it, fine. But for as long as I exist, I'ma do whatever the hell I want. And that includes cursing my fucking ass off. Who do I need to be polite for? Papyrus? Fuck, who do I gotta compose myself for? What if I go out of character for 5 fucking minutes? Is this world's data gonna corrupt because I fucking had it? It's because of this whole shtick Alphys went down the deep end. I left her alone when it mattered. I'm not coded for this. All I can do is wait for all of this to be over one day. If you wanted a hero, you should have looked for Undyne. I'm just Sans. Sans the skeleton. The easiest enemy. Just a big old joke. Sorry about that. Can't recall the last time I lost it this bad.
This isn't the part that broke me. It's what came after. I don't want to make this about me, but it would help show why the scene resonated so much with me. So if you don't want to hear this, skip to the timestamp. Gone? Okay. I have been and am and will be in a rough spot. Struggling to find the motivation to go on, to find a reason to keep going. Just kind of going through the motions, and being on the verge of making very, very stupid mistakes. More than once. And that's part of why my uploads are so inconsistent. Doesn't matter. Anyway. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know. But you have to understand, I had no real support system. If anyone in my family happens to be watching, hi, guess the cat's out of the bag. But yeah, I felt like a burden to those around me. Didn't feel comfortable opening up to anyone. And even after I did, nothing really changed. I'm not in the best place, but it's fine, I'll get through it. You don't have to worry about me, I can worry about myself. But when I read this, I felt something. I'm still not sure what, but I cried. It made me cry. I know that sounds completely like I'm making this up for attention or something, but genuinely, this resonated so much with me.
Huh? When did Pap add another sticky note? Must have fallen off. Wonder if I ever read this before. Well then, let's see how I could spin a response.
Hello, my dearest brother. Since you keep your phone mostly mute, there is no point in sending you a message. So I decided to add a note to our sock discussion, since I know you'd rather continue a joke than to have a proper conversation. Sans, you told me to be wary of the human, but that you respected and had faith in whatever I choose to do to handle the situation, and why I absolutely think that I can sway the human away from this path. There is a teensy little chance I might not return. I thank you for supporting my decision, but in case it does turn for the worst, it is time I am honest with you. Truly honest. Ever since I was a baby Bones, your lack of energy always annoyed me. Despite that, though, you always found the odd job to get us by, taking care of me, no matter what. I will always be grateful for it, and sometimes even smile at your jokes. Especially when you'd smile to yourself. However, these jokes became all that you are. You don't explain science facts to me like when I was little. You'd only play the trombone for comedy, and not throughout the day like you used to. At Grillby's, all you do is crack jokes. You never talk about your day, and at Mediton's shows, you always leave right after your act is done. It's like you cannot exist without there being a joke at all, replacing everything you are with a punchline. I don't know what happened, brother. I hoped over the years you would tell me one day. But, oh well. That's on me to not push harder. Trying to get you to not be lazy wasn't enough. Regardless of it all, though, I am proud of you for looking after me and believing in me, no matter what. So I will tell you the same thing that I will tell the human, more or less. I believe you can change. It is not too late. You may never again be the person I used to know, but I know you can be a better you than you are now. And for that, you need to do more. For your own sake, not just for mine. And I do not want to hear a single excuse. You can do it. You just have to try. Especially if I do not come back. I promise.
Maybe it doesn't resonate with everyone the same way, But that's the beauty of art, is it not? It's what we make of it. There is no right way to interpret art. Watching this scene, it inspired me to try just a little more. To create. Crosslines, Project Underground, the trio ranking, Soulbound Octet, Isaac, Judgment Calls trio, stuff that you don't know about yet. All of it I owe to this one scene. And now every time I'm in that same nihilistic dread headspace, I reread or rewatch the comic dub of this scene, and it reminds me to just keep going, keep trying, stay determined. I haven't even gotten to the actual story of this thing yet, just a scene analysis. And this is only one of the scenes to make me cry. This is why I need a whole video on this thing. Let's touch on the story briefly, because this section's already too long. Owlfish uses the Amalgama's determination in her machine to allow it to see timelines, and she learns of how many timelines have happened. She develops implants to help the wearer remember timelines, and she has a plan. She gains LB. She kills monsters you don't encounter, so you don't suspect anything, until she's ready. And the rest of this really needs its own video, as does this part, in far more detail than I've gone into here. But yeah, I've more than justified my love for this story, and it is my favourite Undertale AU as well as my favourite creation. Please, check it out. Read the comic, watch the dub, whatever you prefer. Everyone should know about this. Wow, that got deep. Anyway, yeah, that's my ranking. Not sure what my next video will be, and I doubt whatever it is will have as much effort as I put into this one. So yeah, either way, like, subscribe, all of that. I put way too much time into this video, and I just want something back for my hard work, you know. Despite how few views my videos get. The least you could do is make it worth my while, right? Costs nothing, takes little time, but no pressure. Anyway, yeah, that's about it this time. Thank you so much for listening to my voice for the past God knows how long this video is. Please check out some of my other content. Thank you so much, genuinely with all my heart, for watching. The fact anyone could put up with me for this long is shocking. Anyway, yeah, bye now. Take care of yourselves, because someone really cares about you.